Hey guys, Brian delivers you the goods here. I'm returning to you tonight for a movie review, another film review for Rebel Moon Part 1, A Child of Fire, that I got a chance to check out for the first part of the, series of Zack Snyder's that he's deciding to do. So pretty much I'm going to discuss what I watched for this 2 hour and 15-minute movie that was on Netflix. I think it's still on Netflix, but still. I'll let you know my thoughts on this 2 hour and 14-minute movie that I watched. So let's dive into this movie review. Now, basically, the whole premise of the story kind of doesn't explain too much. I mean, it tried to, but here is my underlying issue with the movie. It was a little bit rushed, and it felt like there wasn't going to be anything really that exciting about this movie. I felt like this was a boring dud. I don't know, it's just the storyline is basically about Cora or Archelaus or whatever her name is. You find that out later on in the film, close to the end of the part 1. But overall, her character, I didn't feel like the main character gave it her all. Her her performance was kind of weak. I was very disappointed. Djimon Hounsou, his performance was solid, but not fantastic in any way. It was tolerable for the movie. The other performances, Charlie Hunnam's performance, yeah, he was cunning for a bit, but he you find out that he backstabs them uh, near the end of the movie. Like he's working for the basically mothership. So the whole premise about it is mothership. The people that are running it, like the generals and all that, are basically trying to take everything that's good in the world and enslave them or kind of rule the whole entire galaxy in a way. But what's going on in the film is it's rushed, it's very predictable with some things that are going to be said, and it's a questionable movie. Like, it just doesn't really explain a lot of things that I kind of already got the gist of what I'm going to get for this movie. This was a disappointing dud. Unfortunately, of a boring dud. I felt that the story kind of bored me, and I was wanting to like this. I really did, but the performance from the main character was bad. It was just not that great. I mean, she tried, but it just wasn't that great. That's what ruined a partial point of the movie. And then you have the suspenseful end scene before you get to the credit scene. The suspenseful kind of, I wouldn't say climax, but it's a climatic scene going into the next part, which is the new one that came out, Scavenger. The Scavenger, which I will be reviewing that in due time. But still, I think the storyline was just kind of boring. This movie was just very predictable, and the action scenes were solid, but it didn't really strike me as great. This movie tried, but it failed. So, if I were to give this movie an overall score, I'm going to have to unfortunately give it a 5.5 out of 10. Boring dud and a disappointing one, too. And I was wanting to like this film. I really did. But I just felt so uninterested. And I was trying to follow the story. That's what I was really trying to follow. But it just was too rushed for a 2 hour and 15-minute movie. And just the storyline just felt very weak. This was Zack Snyder's most disappointing film that I've seen. so far. And I haven't not seen the new one yet, the second part. And I'm going to find out how that turns out once I review that in due time. But still, Rebel Moon Part 1, A Child of Fire, is just a boring dud. It just leaves you questioning, like, okay, so what are these characters? Where are they going to go in the story? I mean, they explain the journey of where they go, but it just feels so uninteresting and cringy. With the certain worlds they go to and how they have to fight against the fucking mothership. So it's like, okay, so they're rebelling against the system. So, yeah. Pretty much it was a weak film. So, I wouldn't recommend it, but hey, there are going to be hits and misses with movies, but it's 5.5 out of 10 for Rebel Moon Part 1, A Child of Fire. Thank you for watching this next movie review that I just did for you. The Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom movie review is the next one, so be prepared for that. It might be a disappointing one again, but we'll find out. Once I review it, watch it, then review it afterwards. But that's going to be tomorrow sometime. So, with that being said, have a good night, guys, and thanks for watching this review.